For decades, people throughout the world have looked up at the sky and reported seeing weird, unexplained objects in the sky. Some were explained, some couldn't be. But why they started happening? Well, in the middle of the 20th century, while rockets and high-tech aircraft were being developed, the modern age of UFOs began to take off. Coincidence? Perhaps. Regardless, these 10 UFO encounters might make you scratch your head. Starting with number 10 on our list. Roswell Disc Craze, 1947. The Roswell event is the most famous of all UFO sightings. It was the summer of 1947 when rancher William Mack Brazel of New Mexico came upon strange debris. He found metal rods, plastic pieces, and papery bits among the debris on his ranch. It looked like something had crashed. Upon Brazel's reporting to the sheriff of the wreckage, troops stationed at the nearby Roswell Army Air Force Base arrived to collect the debris. Soon after, headlines in the media started quoting flying saucer had been found near Roswell. Since then, conspiracy theorists have been hard at work attempting to establish the debris was extraterrestrial. One individual, Ray Santilli, even went so far as to release a video in 1995 of an alien dissection said to have taken place after the incident. Obviously that was a fake, but what still remains a mystery is what the crashed object truly was. Number 9. Lubbock Lights, 1951. On the evening of August the 25th, 1951, 3 Texas Tech professors of science were out in Lubbock enjoying the night when they saw a fast-moving semicircle of lights above them. In the following few days, dozens of reports came flooding in from all over the city. A freshman at Texas Tech, Carl Hart Jr., even took photographs of the lights that came to be known as the Lubbock Lights, and those photographs were published in newspapers all over the country and in Life magazine. Project Blue Book investigated the sightings and reported that the lights were birds reflecting the streetlights of Lubbock. The claim was questioned by many witnesses who insisted that the lights were moving too quickly to be explained in this way. With no credible source saying what it was, it remains a mystery. Number 8. Washington Lights, 1952. On July the 19th, 1952, radar at Andrews and Bolling Air Force bases picked up 7 unidentified objects that were moving faster than any aircraft developed in those days. Later on, eyewitnesses of armed forces and flight crews on commercial airlines reported flashes of light moving quickly across the sky. The blips of light took off as soon as 2 F-94 fighter planes were sent to the vicinity to check them out. A week later, a similar thing happened, but the Air Force said it was caused by natural phenomena like stars, meteors, and other such things. What they found or didn't find, along with the Air Force's official explanation, fueled some of the early conspiracy theories alleging the government of covering evidence of extraterrestrial life because they cannot explain it. Number 7. Levelland Thunderstorm, 1957. There's a famous scene in the film Close Encounters of the Third Kind in which a UFO causes the electronics in an automobile to go crazy. It was inspired by a 1957 event in Levelland, Texas, in which scores of residents saw strange lights that affected their vehicles. Their engines failed and their lights went out. Though the authorities initially dismissed the claims, things got serious when they saw the lights while investigating the issue. Soon Project Blue Book got involved. What did they say? Like always, they blamed it on a natural phenomenon, thunderstorm. Even though no thunderstorms were recorded those nights, but still the lights and mechanical problems were there. Maybe they wanted to cover it up, who knows? Number 6. Socorro, New Mexico, 1964. Officer Lonnie Zamora of the Socorro, New Mexico Police Department dropped his pursuit of a speeding car when he heard a loud roaring sound and saw a fireball in the sky. In the depths of the canyon, he saw a round object and 2 people dressed in white. There was a hillock between the officer and the possible UFO, so to check out the situation, he needed to cross it. But as he went up the hillock, the UFO took off and disappeared, leaving the surrounding grass burnt. There was no obvious explanation given by Project Blue Book, even though the White Sands missile range was located only a few miles away from the incident. They decided to file it under unidentified. Number 5. Britain's Roswell. Between December the 26th and 28th, 1980, soldiers at 2 British air bases northwest of London reported seeing colourful lights over Rendlesham Forest. Witnesses saw some type of spaceship in the forest. The next day, the Geiger counter detected radiation. British military officials conducted an inquiry and found nothing, thus the case was thrown out of the window. On the other hand, one of the witnesses subsequently reported to the BBC that radar operators had seen something flying too fast than any of the aircraft could at that time. Later, it was called Britain's Roswell, and like the American Roswell, this was also unexplainable. Number 4. Japan Airlines Flight 1628. A Japan Airlines cargo plane was tailed for 50 minutes by 3 UFOs with yellow, amber, and green lights as it passed over Alaska on its way from Paris to Tokyo on November the 17th, 1986. According to the Anchorage Press, military and civilian radar tracked the final 30 minutes of the encounter. Former fighter pilot Captain Kenju Torochi reported seeing a gigantic ship 2 times bigger than an aircraft carrier, as well as 2 smaller vessels. The Federal Aviation Administration validated the radar sightings sightings and said that the flight's crew were normal, professional, reasonable, and had no drug or alcohol involvement, but could not explain the spaceship. Number 3. 2004 Air Force encounter with UFO. The US DoD admitted to the New York Times in December 2017 that it had been operating a program aimed at researching unexplained flying objects, or UFOs. According to the Pentagon, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or ATIP in short, received around $22 million in funding between 2007 and its cancellation in 2012. Before they closed all their files, they published 2 infrared videos of a Navy pilot's encounter with a UFO in 2004 off the coast of California. Upon being instructed to investigate a strange aircraft by a radio operator, Commander David Favor, who was flying one of the jets, went to check it out. There was a white oval-shaped object which hovered over the ocean. It accelerated like nothing he had ever seen. No one has been able to come up with a clear answer to the question of whether or not it was aliens. Number 2. Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, 2013. According to a report published by the Scientific Coalition for Ufology, a low-flying unidentified flying object was seen near a runway at Rafael Hernandez Airport on April 25, 2013. The UFO was captured on video by an infrared recon camera and also by the Federal Aviation Administration's radar over the water and near the airport, measuring between 3 and 5 feet in length and moving at speeds from 40 to 120 miles per hour. The object circled the airport before crashing into the water, but no debris was found in the water. It was not further investigated and was thrown into the files of unexplainable. Number 1. East Coast Go Fast video, 2015. In 2017, New York Times leaked a video about an encounter between an FA-18 Super Hornet with an unidentified aerial phenomenon. The craft was seen along the East Coast and resembled the one that was seen off the coast of San Diego in 2004. It was white and round and moving quickly and was around 45 feet in length. It did not have wings or an exhaust plane. Overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, the pilots kept a close eye on an unidentified flying object, but they could not compete with its speed as it sailed away while rotating on its axis. Even with the latest technology, the military was not able to trace the object, therefore no explanation was given. These 10 reports of UFO sightings, whether true or false, hoax or real error, are a remarkable record of the strange happenings in the sky and beyond. If you are skeptical of UFOs, just know that these are only a few of the many documented sightings that nobody can explain.